mindset is such a big thing. And if you can control your mindset, you can control the gym, you can control your body, you can control the eating problem. Then you're a beast to train with. And it's freaking awesome because it's like we're crushing each other.
And it's fun.
Yeah, it's so freaking fun.
Well, let's face it, we already know you're not going to look the best you're going to look because you're not at the end of your program yet. Like, show us where you're at, enjoy the work, and fucking wait for it.
Okay, ask the next question.
Big Doug,
What do we got?
tell me, this one's kind of going into your mindset, right? Now, probably got up at 3, something ridiculous. Anyways, long story short, it's 3 p.m. now, but you're still not done. Meaning, tell me about how you feel like you can always strive to do more. Like, just because you left the gym, just because you're not training people, does that mean you're done working? Are you done?
No. Yeah, when we were talking about this earlier, the thing that really we were talking about is how, when do you feel content? When do you feel like you've done enough? When do you feel like, you're done working? And really, it's just as much of an impediment as it is a benefit sometimes. But I always feel like I'm always looking for the next thing that I forgot to do. I'm looking for the thing that I didn't know would help me, or the thing that I overlooked in give me that advantage. And I'm always searching for it. And so it's just, it's an active mindset of just always trying to be better, always trying to make sure that you're taking advantage of the opportunities and resources you've been blessed with, all of those things. And that's just the way I look at it. It's like I'm always running behind. I'm always trying to figure it out. Always trying to figure out more.
Hi, guys.
Hey, welcome back, Mike.
He's a plethora of knowledge.
Do you know what the opposite of plethora is? Most people don't. It was a vocab word that I've never forgotten. My mother and I used to play vocab game every day on the way to school.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Go. What's the option?
Paucity. P-O-S-S-I-T-Y. You can have a plethora of solutions, but a paucity of applications.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. I've always loved that pairing of words, the opposites.
Right.
Every time I hear that, I say that.
Very well read as well. We talked about his schooling before that. Okay, next question.
Oh, so we talked about the importance of taking photos, striving for, you can always do more. What about journaling? Do you journal? Does it help you? Have you?
I journal not as consistently as I probably would like, and I journal probably not as much as not in the way.
Don't tell them what it
would
is yet,
expect.
because I want a little bit of a surprise.
Okay.
So when I talk to my crew, I talk about journaling and I talk about taking your notes on what your nutrition is, how your things are going, what's the process of it. And I absolutely love what you journal about because of the fact of mindset is such a big thing. And if you can control your mindset, you can control the gym, you can control your body, you can control the eating problems, or I'm an eater.
Yeah.
So if I'm mentally losing it, I'm eating bad. And so you do something differently than I do. So I think this is going to be so helpful for you people out there. This is going to be so freaking helpful. Tell me what you're journaling.
So when I journal more about my emotional struggles throughout the day. And it's been something that I've used as a coping mechanism probably since, before high school or in high school, I picked it up. Most people would assume a bodybuilder is going to journal about food or training. And it's like, well, I felt pretty good this day, or this was my max lift on this. And I've never really been that guy. I always kind of felt like taking academia into the weight room, even though it's just notes or whatever, taking that kind of stuff into the weight room kind of tarnished it for me because it's my own personal self-reflection. But emotionally, the pairing of training and journaling, just exerting that force and then journaling about it really has helped me a lot in maintaining this steady discipline that's been required of a bodybuilder and of a personal trainer that runs his own business. Because that's one thing, like I don't have business skills or anything. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. And if I'm too impulsive or too crazy, well, I can really screw myself up, in training and otherwise. But so that's where my journaling comes in, which is probably quite a bit different than most, but it works really well. Give it a try.
I love it because I've talked to, and I've told these guys about it, that like I love how Susie trains people.
Susie Lynn.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Absolutely. Just a doll. And she cares. You could see how much she cares about the craft, about that, and then about the individual. And I think that you're like the male version of Susie. I can see how much you care about your clients and how much you love what the possibilities with proper nutrition and training can do for an individual. So, man, props to you, because I think that's awesome to watch you guys train people where it is tough for me to watch trainers.
You want to know something that will offend me? That will offend me.
To watch them?
A trainer sitting on his phone, or a trainer not even, like that will offend me, because that gives us a bad name, and that's just, you're right. I love what I do, and I take it very seriously. Like, I've fired clients. I come by that honestly. I have fired clients for not caring enough about what they're giving me money for. I don't care. I want to enrich the fitness world with my knowledge. And
This wasn't a question, but
yeah,
can you go into this a little bit more? Because of the fact that I will not work with certain people. There's a I guess you a interview process to train with me, and so I let them do that because they can understand what I like and don't like. So how do you control? Because this is something I deal with still today. How do you control your? And I think I kind of know, but when somebody has so much potential and they can do so well and they can change their body, and it's not potential like genetic potential like Flex Wheeler, but just this person could lose 100 pounds. I could see their life now. I could see them being healthier and get out of the high cholesterol, and they fix their heart. How do you, when you care more than they care, how do you deal with that? It's tough.
I can't do it, and I try to tell people very, very upfront, that it's like, look, I will meet you as far as you come with me. I will take you as seriously as you take yourself, your training. One thing I do, like, for example, I have one client I'm thinking of I was actually proud of our resolution for it. I literally sat him down and I said, bro, I love working with you. And I know you love working with me. I know you love the time we spend together. I said, but I cannot, in good conscience, give a bad product. It looks bad for me, and I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy a bad session. I don't enjoy a low energy training session. I don't enjoy giving that to you. I don't enjoy it for my own personal time, and it's not worth my money. It's not worth your money. I said, but I can't give you everything. You got to give me something, and I can take it out. And we just had that conversation, and then we've had some pretty good luck,
That's awesome.
But it took me a long time. I mean, I've just kind of been like, okay, that was our last session, and they're like, what? And I'm like, man, I gotta go, and that's not how I wanted to do it. I was really happy finding that resolution to just kind of be like, look, I don't like to give a bad product, and you're not allowing me to do anything other than that.
I love that. Jeffrey, stage is yours.
Big dog, tell me about that circle of friends, those people you keep around you. Why they're important, what do you look for, that kind of thing.
You have to be real active in that search, and real. I feel like one thing people need to understand is it is 100% a choice who you spend the time with, and it's 100% a choice how the people you spend the time with view you and what you're going to get out of them. When we were talking about this, we were talking about motivation and how we're able to, whether we get our motivation internally or externally, and the combination of both. And a training partner can only, kind of like I just said about that client, a training partner can only pull so much out of you, but you have to bring it. You have to show what's available, and then they can bring something out of it. And the people that you're around will dictate how hard you're going to work. You're going to find the mean average of the people that you're around. But there's two sides to that. It's not only about finding good people. Those high functioning individuals that are going to help you be your best are going to expect that you're going to put everything into being your best. And if you're not willing to put everything in it, then they're not going to give you the time of day because they're putting everything in. What's that going to look like if you're busting your ass and some guy comes up and says, well, I'm going to feed off your ass busting, but I'm just going to kind of hang out. Get the fuck out. No, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I think it was when we started working out together and stuff. I've had training partners that I brought everything,
Oh yeah.
and it's draining, and especially when I'm dieting down and stuff. Either I could be so dieted down and still have a great workout and a fun workout. If there's people bringing it, I lose everything if I get there and everybody's like, "All right, Mike, you're on," and I'm like, "No, today I need you guys to be on."
Mhm, mhm.
And when they're not that way, it just drains me.
It's interesting being the leader of a workout group. You know, there's always the unspoken, you know, whether it's spoken or not, there's always the leader of a workout group. And I mean, obviously, this is, well, at least I think it's pretty obvious that this is probably one of the few times in my training career that I am not set leader of the workout group, you know. And so it's an interesting role reversal for me, but I can remember being in your shoes, and it's like if the guys are late and then they're like, you know, oh, I'm sorry, then your workout suffers. And it really, especially if you're the athlete that's preparing for something, or you're the one that's dieting, or the pressure's on you. And it's like, you know, and they're having a shitty day. It's like, hey, you know, what if I'm having a shitty day? I need somebody to push my hamstrings, you know, my heels to my ass
Yeah.
while I'm doing hamstring curls. You can't be sitting over there on your phone. And so I think that's actually helped me a lot when I'm training with you. Is like I know what I'm supposed to do because I know what I wanted someone to do for me. And you, the cool thing is you meet me right there. So we go right back at it, back and forth and back and forth.
It is.
And
It's
that
fun.
is what it's supposed to be, because that is where the cream rises to the top.
And you're hearing us say about training partners stuff, but we're talking about everybody. We're talking about who you're working with, the business, with your family, with your friends, and all that stuff. So just understand that's everything. And I think one of the most basic thing is it is hard to pull somebody up. It's really easy to get pulled down. And so if you're hanging out with people, hang out with the people that are trying to come up with you, not the people that are trying to drag you down to your best of ability. And I get that that's harsh for some people. So, well, these friends, they go party all the time. So if that's not in your path, it's not in your path.
My strategy, the way I really try to do it for myself is try to be around people that you think are better than you, and then insist that you keep up.
Agreed.
You know, that's how I try to do it. I try to be around people that I feel that I respect enough that they're better than me, and then I just try as hard as I can to prove it wrong to myself. You know.
Yeah, because I when I got Jeffrey, that kind of changed a lot of stuff. Because I was getting these people that were working with my business, and it's like, I shouldn't know more than you.
Absolutely.
If this is your job, I'm hiring you to rock and roll on that stuff and show me. And so it's a cool thing to keep leveling up and being around those kind of people. Jeffrey, what's your next question?
Well, you kind of touched you kind of touched on those internal and external motivators at the beginning of this talk. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, you know, like I say, internal motivators are going to be the things that really you use inside to convince yourself to get to work. It's as simple as, you know, maybe your family, or you need to make money, or you need to, you know, just the simple things as you need to complete the tasks. I have a little bit of trouble empathizing with people that don't have internal motivation, simply because I feel like it should be inherent human nature to want to get better at something, to do something productive daily. And if you don't feel that way, you need more help than a trainer. I feel like, you know, like there's something really going on inside you if you really don't feel like there's a possibility to get better in some way every day. You know, there's opportunities always to further your position. And that's literally, I mean, I guess that is my internal motivation, is simply that's what I feel like we're put on this earth to do, is to keep working and keep going. And so it's not something that I have to convince myself to do. Now, as far as the external motivation, I know that if I'm in an environment in which people are thriving, I will thrive more than if I am by myself, or if I'm in an environment where I'm carrying people with me that are not thriving and not doing things for themselves. I mean, you know, my thing, a rising tide floats all boats. And I just feel like it's our responsibility to be part of that tide, and everybody just keep getting better. And the more of those external motivators, I see some guy next to me working hard, I will work harder, or as hard, because it just makes me excited to just be around that energy.
Yeah, I love the routine. What you got, Mo?
Sweet.
Look at these. Look at these. Oh, I'm sitting here and you still see the abs.
And you might put some in.
Okay. All right. Well, was there any more questions?
Negative.
Negative. We did that.
Okay.
So I think
Did you talk
Oh,
about that?
negativity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we kind of did talk about negativity and staying away from people.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay away from people that are going to hold you down. Stay away from people that aren't looking for you,
Information?
to be better.
I think one of the things that I love is that for me, it's great training with Doug because Doug is like the last of these guys that are just big boys and love bodybuilding.
I was
And-
thinking about that today.
yeah, he's
When
like
I-
the last
When I
guy.
saw you training, when we were leaving the gym, you were training that person. It made me think of you telling me how everyone you always see in Golds back in the day was just
Big.
jacked.
Yeah, so
And then I saw you training, and you stood out because you were the only.
So back in the early '90s and late '80s, it's like there was a lot of the guys I grew up with that were legends to me. You know, Jim Quinn played. He was a fullback, but he's a 300-pound bodybuilder too. And Mike Quinn and Troy Zucolato and Chris Cormier was there, and Flex and Rico. And Ralph Muller was 300 and something pounds. So everybody was there, but everybody looked good. And I'm not just talking about the bodybuilders. There was actors there in the day that were all. You would
Accountants.
ask a guy, and he was like, "I'm an attorney." Dude, why are you 220 and looking ripped? It's like everybody back in the early 90s was like what Doug represents and what Doug is like. And now it's only Doug there. And so he's like holding that on. And it feels great for me to team up with you and try to kill you as you're trying to kill. We're friends, but when we're training partners, we're enemies that want the very best out of each other. And it's not a bad thing. It's just competition. And we love that. And we love that kind of approach. It's like, hey, you want to train tomorrow? Yeah. What time? Well, I can't do it at this 3 a.m. Okay.
Yep.
It was an instant for us.
Mhm.
So he has the mentality of the guys in the 80s and 90s where it is, I'll come in and wreck you. And then we'll go eat afterwards. And it's not a bad thing. I was talking to Rico, and I got to get Rico over here because we talked about that mentality, and we'll talk about it another time. But we did back in the day, talk so much smack to make sure everybody comes in shape for the show.
Absolutely.
And the smack talk would motivate, hey, you're looking a little light on this or that. And you want the very best because you don't want to beat somebody that's not at their best.
No, absolutely not. Who wants to, no, you want to be the best.
That's
Otherwise, somebody, nobody, you don't want anybody to be able to say, oh, well, that guy was off, man. So Doug won. Screw that.
No,
No,
you want
man,
them at
I
the very
won.
best. You
Yeah.
squeaked out the win by 1%.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. That dude was awesome in second place, wasn't he? Yeah, he looked fucking awesome.
I love your approach. And
That's the way it should be.
and I agree with you on if we got only this, you don't need to be a bodybuilder. You don't need to compete, but you do need to have a healthy vessel. And you got to be able to stand there. And I love what Pedro said. He said, if you can stand there naked and be happy with your project and your body, that's the ultimate confidence.
Absolutely.
And these guys that are billionaires and stuff, and they're buying the cars to fulfill that. And they're working off of with a Ferrari endorsement or whatever that is. It's like, oh, I got a Ferrari. I don't care. You look terrible.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Well, and that says a lot too about this game. Like, yeah, I'm a bodybuilder, a competitive bodybuilder, but before that, I'm a man who enjoys doing the best I can at everything. And that you can't tell me that's pigeonholed to the fitness industry. Okay, adversity is adversity. You overcome it, you get better for the next time. You get better for the next time. That's transferable to every job. And the most, successful people achieve goals. They break down adversity. They build their body. They, stick to a plan.
I don't think they're even questioning that because you
Yeah.
journal about your mindset and what you're going through emotionally. That means you're working to get better outside of the gym. I've seen you train people. So you love your stuff, you love giving back, and you love helping people. So again, there's humanity there. And then you're a beast to train with. And it's freaking awesome because it's like we're crushing each other.
and it's fun.
Yeah, it's so freaking fun.
Haven't worked a day in my life.
Guys, enjoy the day. Thank you for doing this.
Well, man, it's
Let's go
my
get some
pleasure.
meat.
We'll do it again.